Clearly it's not Fat Boy Slim at the back. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
My name is Malcolm Bacon, and I'm a Deputy Superintendent Registrar of Marriages with the East Sussex Registration Service. It's my pleasure and my privilege to lead you through the ceremony today. With me today is my friend and my colleague, which is Susie Evans, who is a Registrar of Marriages and without whom today's proceedings would not be valid. But Susie has ensured that all the legal preliminaries to the marriage have been completed, and as long as we get it about right, she'll make an accurate record into the register and we'll prepare a couple of certificates for you to take away with you today. So can I, on behalf of both Lola and Sam, welcome you here today to Anne of Cleves House, which has been duly sanctioned according to law for the celebration of civil marriages. And whilst we're here, I think I'd like to remember persons who can't make it here today, which are the lovely deceased, unfortunately, grandparents, who would like to sort of dedicate and remember everybody to remember today, please, which is John and Mary Ajayi, Emife Jemibewon, James and Elmer Taylor, and Matthew Foster. Maybe gone, but definitely still in our memories and remembered with love. And of course, a wedding is a very special occasion. Both Lola and Sam have chosen to be married by a civil ceremony. But it's not just them that's getting involved today. I think if you've had the opportunity of looking at the order of ceremony, I think this is a real participatory affair that's going to be going on. So I hope you've got your singing voices with you and everything else, because you're all going to get the opportunity of singing later. But both Lola and Sam have chosen to be married by a civil ceremony, and that has its own traditions and its own legal requirements, and has stood as a lawful marriage in its own right since 1837. But of course the reason we're here is both Sam and Lola, they wish to affirm their love and their respect and their true friendship for each other through marriage. So marriage is all about sharing. We've invited you, special friends and family here today, to receive your encouragement and your support, and I do believe you're going to have to help them celebrate as well. Sorry, it's part of your duties. That's it, whether you like it or not, that's it. But we're all here today to witness the joining in matrimony of Samuel James Taylor Foster and Temidayo Omolola Jemibewon. Yeah? However, if anyone present knows of any lawful reason why this marriage should not take place, they should declare it now. You won't get an invite to the do later. I think we're safe to move on. Now we've got some lovely reading, so I'm going to invite Clement forward to do the first reading. Go and join us then.
British Army Officer abroad. The British are an intrepid lot of international explorers, traders and meddlers. Whether it's the result of an invitation or a nosy inclination, the Brits get about promoting their passions for cricket and quizzing and pilfering, all while stand by a cup of tea. The instrument of choice for implementing British international designs is the British Army, which likes nothing better to do than deploy its young men and women abroad to fight the Queen's enemies and protect her friends. Therefore, when the young Captain Foster received his orders to deploy to the Crown's most important ally in West Africa, he jumped to it, although it quickly became apparent that he knew very little about where he was going. Of course, the British government prepared him excellently. His commanders made sure he knew how to defend a forward operating base against Boko Haram. They taught him to operate a variety of weapons in case he had to grab someone else's in a pickle. They ensured he knew how to cut his bonds in the event of capture, then escape and evade. You know, the essentials to life in Abuja. In hindsight, he'd have been better off just reading How to Be a Nigerian. Having gone from British zero to Nigerian hero, in the space of 6 weeks, Captain Foster reported his flight to Nigeria with not a little trepidation. However, upon landing and being taken to his military compound, complete with a swimming pool, a gym and a fully stocked kitchen, he realised this tour might not be as austere as he had originally supposed. While his weekdays were filled with military activities, overseeing British training areas in Jaji or Zaria, on the weekends he often managed to steal back to the capital or go exploring. Occasionally he even managed to persuade the Nigerian SBS to take him gallivanting around the waterways of Lagos, ostensibly to help them to fight pirates in the Gulf of Guinea. It was in this context that Captain Foster joined the Abuja Running Club, started the Abuja Dinner Club, attended music festivals, and quickly became firm friends with a number of Abuja's finest characters, including an intimidating Nigerian lady with an American accent. It turned out defence engagement wasn't so bad after all. Little did he know how engaged Nigeria he was to become.
Sam, all I can say is it's always a problem inviting mates to sort of to say words about you. And I doubt that they've finished yet, so there we are. And we've got another reading from Ibukan.
Where are you from? It's a simple enough question. In the American context, the answer usually comes in the form of city, comma, state. Unless, of course, you have a name like Lola's. A name like Lola's elicits a more complicated response, regardless if it's being said in Baltimore, St. Louis, New York, or Nigeria, or Chicago. But that's what happens when you're Nigerian American. Great job, and the chance to see and travel the African continent. And who knew? She was 28 years old. Maybe there would be a nice Yoruba boy waiting for her back home.
Can I invite you both to come and join me? Why don't you can stand over here? And then I'll turn around and face your lovely bride. And just move in a little bit and I'll talk over you. Hold on to each other if you wish to. This is good. Get used to it, Nick. Well, Lola and Sam. Today you will exchange vows which will unite you as a husband and a wife. The words are a formal and a public pledge of your love and a promise of lifelong dedication to each other. But before you are joined in matrimony, it is my duty to remind you of the solemn and the binding nature of marriage. Now, marriage in this country is a union of two people, voluntarily entered into for life to the exclusion of all others. It is a bit more than that. That's just the legal definition. It's a commitment. It's a commitment to a partnership of love and understanding, which will share all the joy that life brings and lend each other your strength. Because over the years, someone has seen you at your best, obviously at your best. You may also have seen each other at your worst. But nonetheless, I'm not asking for a reply. Because it doesn't really matter. Because you both turned up here today. And you're both committing yourself to each other. And that's the consummate experience that's marriage. Because although marriage has different meanings to different people, at the end of the day, it's a civil ceremony. It's a simple one. First, you'll be making a declaration you're free to marry. And then secondly, you're exchanging your legal wedding vows, promising to take each other as partners for life, showing love and respect for one another over the years ahead. So I'm going to formally ask you both, are you ready to make those vows? Sam, can I ask you, will you take Lola to be your wife? Or will you remain true to her for the rest of your lives together?
I will.
And Lola, will you take Sam to be your husband and remain true to him for the rest of your lives together? And I'm going to ask each of you in turn to declare you do not know any lawful reason why you should not be married to each other. And I'll ask you both to repeat after me. And Sam, I'll start with you. I do solemnly declare
I do solemnly declare
that I know not
that I know not
of any lawful impediment
of any lawful impediment
why I, Samuel James Taylor Forster,
why I, Samuel James Taylor Forster,
may not be joined in matrimony
may not be joined in matrimony
to Temideo Omolola Jemibewon,
to Temideo Omolola Jemibewon,
against me. He can say it. He's practiced, yeah. Now, I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment by I, Jemibewon, Omolola Jemibewon,
By I, Medayese Omolola Jemibewon,
may not be joined in matrimony
may not be joined in matrimony
to Samuel James Taylor Forster.
Samuel James Taylor.
Acknowledged solemnly both Sam and Lola to exchange their marriage vows in front of all of you as their witnesses, promising to take each other as partners for life, promising to be loving and faithful throughout their future together. Now these are vows you're making to each other. So Sam, can I ask you to make these vows please to Lola? I call upon these persons
I call upon these persons,
here present to witness
here present to witness,
that I, Sam,
that I, Sam,
do take thee, Lola,
do take thee, Lola,
to be my lawful wedded wife.
to be my lawful wedded wife.
Now Lola, would you make these vows please to Sam? I call upon these persons
I call upon these persons
here present to witness
here present to witness
that I, Lola,
that I, Lola,
do take thee, Sam,
do take thee, Sam,
to be my lawful wedded husband.
to be my lawful wedded husband.
Fabulous. Thank you. Now I'm going to want you to pick up your orders of ceremony here. And I'm going to ask everybody to stand, please. You've all got your own particular roles, you've all got your own particular lyrics for something stupid. And don't forget to sing.
Music starts.
Okay. I hope not.
Ah, there you go.
I know I stand in line until you think you have the time to spend an evening with me. And if we go someplace to dance, I know that there's a chance you won't be leaving with me. Then afterwards we drop into a quiet little place and have a drink or two.
Or 4 or 5.
And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like I love you. I can see it in your eyes that you despise the same old lies you heard the night before. And though it's just a line to you, for me it's true, I've never seen so right before. Practice every day to find some clever lines to say to make the meaning come true. But then I think I'll wait until the evening gets late and I'm alone with you. The time is right, your perfume fills my head, the stars get red and all the night's so blue. And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like I love you.
I think so.
The time is Ah, yes.
Do you know what? You sounded pretty good from up here. You really did. Please take a seat. Thank you very much. Because we've got a third reading. We've got a third reading. Yeah, if you wish to. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Notes on love.
Love is a temporary madness. It interrupts at every hour the most serious of occupations, and sometimes perplexes even in the greatest of minds. It does not hesitate to interfere with the negotiations of statesmen and the investigations of the learned. It knows how to slip its love notes into ministerial portfolios, and sometimes demands the sacrifices of health, wealth, position, and happiness. One of the most profound mysteries of love is, why him? Or why her? Why of all the possible candidates did our desire settle so strongly on this creature, when their dinner conversation was not always the most enlightening, nor their habits the most agreeable? But this mystery is what love is. Love is not breathlessness. It is not excitement. It is not the promulgation of promises or of eternal passion. That is just being in love. Love itself is what is left over when being in love has burned away. It may erupt like a volcano, but it will always subside. And when it subsides, you have to make a decision. You have to decide whether your roots have so entwined with your partner that it's inconceivable you should ever part. Those that truly love have roots that grow towards each other underground. And when all the pretty blossoms have fallen from their branches, they find that they are but one tree, not two. Love is a temporary madness, a radical, courageous, and essential madness.
Can I ask you to come and join me back up here, please? If you want to just put that orders of ceremony down again, that's great, because the ancient and the traditional way of sealing a marriage contract is by the giving and the receiving of a ring. And both Sam and Lola have decided to mark their wedding day in this particular fashion. Now I need some rings, and I need some volunteers as well. So, and lady, yes please, come and join me.
That's all right.
That's great, thank you. That's right, no, just wait. You just wait with me. I'll say I get lonely up here otherwise. Well, the giving and the receiving of rings. Sorry, you're going to multitask, Joe. I do apologise.
There's a man. Different choice.
Well, as I say, the giving and receiving of rings is the traditional way of sealing the wedding vows. It's an outward sign of the promises that you two have just made to each other. The unbroken circle symbolising your unending love. So I need, if I can please, Joe, for you to give the ring to Sam that he's going to give to Lola. Thank you. And will you place it on the end of the third finger of Lola's left hand? Just hold it at the end there, that's it. Pause for photographs at this point. And can I ask you, first of all, just to make these vows? I give you this ring.
I give you this ring
As a reminder of the promises.
as the reminder of the promises
That I have made to you this day.
that I have made to you this day.
May you wear it with love.
May you wear it with love,
Now and always.
now and always. I need some Vaseline.
No, it doesn't.
Nice one.
Would you give the ring please to that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you, your duty is done. And again, third finger left hand, please, if you would, brother. That's it. Just hold it there. And will you say these words, please, to Sam? I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a reminder of the promises
as a reminder of the promises
that I have made to you this day.
that I have made to you this day.
May you wear it with love,
May you wear it with love,
now and always.
now and always.
And I believe you have personal vows you want to make to each other.
We do this.
If you go first, please.
Lola, I promise to be your best friend, your most ardent admirer, and loyal defender. I promise to be the air under your wings, carrying you to your dreams. I promise to always give you good and truthful counsel, even if the truth cuts deep. I promise to never take you for granted. I and to always give everything in the pursuit of our happiness together. Most importantly, I promise to cook you whatever you want. Whenever you want. However, the kids are getting meat. I give you this ring in front of all those nearest and dearest to us as a symbol of the promises I've made to you today.
Sam, today I pledge myself to being your spouse. I promise to build a partnership with you. A partnership based on understanding, respect, love, and humility. I promise to listen, even if it doesn't seem like I am. I promise to support you, not blindly, but honestly. Lastly, and most importantly, I promise to make your heart my home, so that no matter how far or how often I may wander, there should be no doubt in anyone's mind here today that I will always come back to wherever you are. I give you this ring in front of all of those nearest and dearest to us as a symbol of the promises I have made to you today.
Fabulous. Thank you very much. Stay standing. And would everybody like to stand as well, because we've got the second song. You can all do your Andy Williams bits now. That's it. Yes, please, Joe. Thank you.
Too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. And Lord, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. And in the way that I stare, there's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you.
No, done. You're early.
It's quite alright.
There we go.
I love you, baby, and if it's quite alright, I need you, baby, to warm the lonely nights. I love you, baby. Trust in me when I say, oh, pretty baby, don't bring me down, I pray, oh, pretty baby. Now that I found you, stay and let me love you, baby. Let me love you.
You're just
Too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. And long last love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. I love you, baby, and if it's quite alright, I need you, baby, to warm the lonely love you, baby. Trust in me when I say, oh, pretty baby, don't bring me down, I pray. Oh, pretty baby, now that I found you, stay. Oh, pretty baby, trust in me when I say.
Oh, please take a seat. Not you, sir. No. You, I think, hold hands and turn them. Well, Lola, it's look at one another. And look around you. And remember this moment, because this is a totally unique moment in time. You're never going to have this moment again in your whole life. Because before this moment, you've been many things to one another. You started off as acquaintance, friends, companions, lovers, I don't know, maybe even dancing partners, certainly singing partners.
You see my dancing?
Not the
But you've most certainly you've been teachers to each other, but you've learned much from one another over the years ahead, or over the last years. But now, you've crossed a completely new threshold of life, and things between you will never be quite the same again. Because from today, you can say to the world, this is my husband, and this is my wife. Because I'm sure I speak on behalf of everybody, and we say we hope that the patently obvious feelings of love that you two have for each other just deepen and grow even stronger over the years ahead. You've both made the declarations prescribed by law. You made solemn and binding promises to each other here in the presence of your family and your friends, and you sealed that contract with the giving and the receiving of a ring. You've made a commitment to each other of loyalty and commitment. So therefore it gives me the greatest pleasure to announce that you are now lawfully husband and wife. Well, here we are.
Yes.
What should we do now?
Well done.
Go and have a drink?
I think so.
I think before we do, we better do the signing of the register. They say the job's not done until the paperwork's finished. So I'm going to now leave you in the capable hands of Susie. We do the signing of the register in front of everybody, but can I ask, we can't have any photographs of the actual register.